All right, now I'm on the bottom of page 321. Let's go over some more examples. Now, really focus, really pay attention to what I'm doing in the video, because this is exactly what your homework is going to be like. So if you pay close attention now, you might not need to even watch the homework videos. You might be able to solve the problems on your own, okay, which that's what we want. That's the ultimate goal. Okay, so it says solve the equation, check the solution. So we're doing exactly what we were doing before. We're trying to figure out what the variable equals, and then we're plugging it in to check. So I'm going to show my work down here. You can use your scratch paper. You can use as much scratch paper as you need. Okay, the first one says y minus 3/4 equals 1/2. It's problem 8. I want to get this y by itself. But right now, so I'm just focusing on the left side of the equal sign right now. I want this y by itself. But I have this negative 3/4 that's over here that I don't like. I want to get it by itself. So to get this by itself, I have to do the opposite of this. The opposite of minus 3/4 would be plus 3/4, positive 3/4. That cancels that out, leaving you with just a y over here. And I still have my equal sign. Now, since I added 3/4 on this side, I need to also add 3/4 to the other side. Okay. So now I'm left with 1/2 plus 3/4. The denominators are different, so I need common denominators. Okay. So 1/2 would be equivalent to 2/4, right? That would be a half. And I still have the 3/4, so that leaves me with 5/4. And 5/4 can be written as 4/4 plus 1/4 would still be 5/4, and 4/4 is 1 whole, so 1 1/4. So my y is equivalent to 1 1/4. Okay. Then I plug it in to check. 1 1/4 where I see the y. So here was the y. So I start with 1 1/4 minus, there's my minus sign, 3/4, there's my 3/4, equals 1/2. Is that in fact true? Yes, it is. Checks out. So notice all the work I'm showing to solve these problems. Okay, this is what I expect to see on your scratch paper. You need to be working these problems out. Show me what your thinking is. Okay, number 9, 75 equals n plus 12, I want to get the variable by itself, but I have this plus 12, so I want to get rid of it by doing the opposite. Opposite of addition is subtraction, and then I subtract the same number. That gets rid of that 12, so leaving me with just n on this side. If I took 12 away from the right side, I have to also take 12 away from the left side. 5 take away 2 is 3. 7 take away 1 is 6, so n equals 63, and then I plug it in to check. 75 equals, and then in place of n, I'm going to put my 63 plus 12. 63 plus 12, does that in fact equal 75? Yes, it does. This checks out. Okay. Let's do another example, number 10. So this time we have m plus 16.8 equals 40. Again, my goal is to always get the letter by itself. So I have a positive 16.8, so to get that m by itself, I need to do the opposite, and I subtract 16.8. That gets rid of that. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. So now I have to work this out. 40 minus 16.8. I can add my decimal here to line up my decimals. 40 is the same thing as 40.0, so I haven't changed the value. And then I can subtract. Decimal comes straight down. So this leaves me with m on this side of the sign equals, and then on this side of the equal sign I got 23.2, and then now I plug it in to check. Where I see the m, I put in a 23.2 plus 16.8. Does that in fact equal 40? Yes, it does. This checks out. Oops. Okay. So I think the most challenging part of today's math will probably be a couple things. One, remembering that you do the opposite. So whatever the sign is, you do the opposite of that sign. And then the other part is probably just remembering how to add and subtract decimals and add and subtract fractions. Okay. All right, I'm going to jump down to number 14 really quick, this word problem. The temperature dropped 8 degrees. So if it dropped, it went down minus 8 degrees between 6 p.m. and midnight. The temperature at midnight was 26 degrees. Write and solve an equation to find the temperature at 6 p.m. All right, so we want to take the temperature that it was at 6, which we don't know, take away, dropped 8 degrees, and that should equal our temperature that it was at midnight, 26 degrees. So now we can solve this by doing what we've been doing. Get the t by itself. So I'm going to rewrite this equation to show my work. I got to do the opposite of subtraction, which would be addition. I add 8 to get rid of that 8, leaving me with just t equals, and then since I added 8 to the left side, I have to add 8 to the right side. So 8 plus 6. And then add our 10s, 34. So t equals 34. Plug it in to check. I put in 34 for t, minus 8 equals 26. Is that true? Yes, it checks out. Okay, so then I would write up here t equals 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And let's look at number 15. Write an addition equation that has the solution x equals 9. Okay, so we're going to start with x. We want to make it addition, and we can pick whatever we want. Okay, so I'm going to pick 1, x plus 1, and then it's an equation, so I need to put the equal sign. Well, if x is 9, then my equation would be x plus 1 equals 10. But again, you could choose whatever you want. You could say x minus 3 and say, okay, 9 minus 3 is 6. This equation would also work. So there's really, infinite number of equations you could write, as long as after you write the equation, putting 9 in place of your x would make the equation true. Okay. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.